Hello and welcome to the France 24 interview. We're happy to welcome our guest today, Noam Shalit, the father of Gilad Shalit, the Israeli soldier held in hostage by Hamas since June 2006. Hello and thank you for your time. First of all, I'd like us to watch this video excerpt.
I've been waiting for my release for a very long time. I hope that the Netanyahu government will not spoil this possibility. We could settle the case, and hence will my dream come true, and hence will I be released. I would like to kiss my family, and I would like to tell my family, I love you, and I miss you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. I would like to tell you that I feel healthy, and that the Adin al-Ghassan Brigade, Mujahideen, are treating me very well. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Now that you've seen this video excerpt, tell me how you felt the first time you saw your son speaking.
At the beginning, we're shaken. This was a shock. We hadn't seen him for close to 3.5 years. 1,200 days, 1,200 days, and those are very long days, made of nightmares. You got the first shock, and then you realize that he's surviving the nightmare. He's surviving this captive situation. He's holding out against it, but he doesn't look the same way as he did before he was captured. He's tense, anguished. He's also pale. He lost weight. It seems that, well, just like someone who was denied freedom for a very long time. He was denied freedom. He's totally isolated, without any communication with the outside world, and this is the first time, I believe, that he has this possibility of speaking with the outside world.
Did you see anything in his body language or in his eyes, anything that maybe you understood that we didn't?
Yes, without a doubt. As I said, he looks very tense, very anguished, and he really yearns for communication with the outside world. After this isolation for quite a number of years, one realizes that he really is trying to get this message across to the whole world. By just reading this statement that was given to him.
Now, does this video give you hope to see your son again one day, or maybe see him come home?
There is hope, because Hamas seems to have renounced this asset, this very strong asset. And this was surrounded by uncertainty around Gilad's fate. Hamas renounced this against a relatively low price, 20 female prisoners that would have been released anyway. And this is perhaps an advanced payment, so to say. It seems that Hamas would like to really settle the problem, otherwise they would not have taken this measure. And I do hope that this is going to be the case, because this is still not the finalization. There hasn't been any breakthrough. Besides, this is a token of trust on both sides with respect to the existing mediation. A German team is made of negotiators with the support of the Egyptians.
Now, we'll come back to some of these points, but let's look at the international negotiations in a moment. But tell me how you felt at the time during the conflicts in Gaza when you saw on television what was going on. Weren't you, even then, your son was there, weren't you afraid that something something bad would happen to him?
Of course, we were very scared. I was scared. But this is not the first time. What else is new in Gaza? Ever since June 2006, when Gilad was abducted, fights have been taking place, whether Israeli reactions or fights between Hamas and the Israelis, or between the Palestinians, among the Palestinians. Let's not forget that a war took place between Fatah and Hamas, which lasted a long time. Conflicts on both sides that lasted months until June 2007, until the Gaza Strip was under the control of Hamas. Now, of course, this is a source of concern, because this situation could go awry and something might happen to Gilad.
Now, what's the next step? What will you do now that you've seen this video? It shows that in October, your son is alive. What do you plan to do?
As a family, we will not take part in the negotiation process. We got no prisoners. We should be giving out to the Hamas. Our role here is to make sure that negotiations are pressed ahead and remain consistent, and we need to exert pressure on both sides. Pressure on the Prime Minister and other decision-makers within the government, and on the Hamas through various platforms and resources. We don't have that many resources, but we do have quite a number of tools that could be implemented in this framework. And of course, through the Palestinian population. The Gaza population, for instance. Let's recall that the Palestinian population in Gaza has been suffering for over 3 years in the aftermath of Gilad's capture, and they're really paying a very heavy price tag. I'm talking about simple citizens suffering. Now, of course, those that are not close to Hamas are suffering. Why? Because, well, the Hamas members have everything, but single citizens are really paying a high price for this. With Israeli bombings, the blockade. Of course, they have access to food, but there are quite a number of things they have no access to. Great poverty in Gaza, unemployment.
At one point, you talked about prisoners who were freed in exchange for the video. We know, though, that Hamas demands the freeing of the release of hundreds of prisoners in exchange. Have you gotten any signs, or do you think that the release of these hundreds of prisoners would be giving in to Hamas?
The Israeli opinion, well, I'm not saying that this corresponds to 100% of the Israeli opinion, but most Israelis would like the case to be settled and would like Gilad to be released. Most of them would like to have him back home, even though they'd have to pay a price for it. And this is no cinch for most Israelis. This is just not very simple. Paying that price is no simple task. In other words, releasing terrorists that have been tried for numerous murders committed on innocent Israeli citizens, innocent people that had nothing to do with this. I'm not even talking about people fighting the Israeli army. I'm talking about people that murdered Israeli citizens.
Let me remind our viewers here that you also have French nationality, as does Gilad. You're in France here, and in Paris we've seen a lot of signs of support for the release of Gilad. We also have Nicolas Sarkozy. He called you the day that the video was released and assured you of his support. Now, how do you assess the French support in your situation? And is your visit related to that French support?
Of course. We're in constant contact with the Élysée Palace, and We would like to thank the President for his personal support. He places great premium on the hostage case with the Betancourt case and the Bulgarian medics. He got involved, and we're extremely thankful for this engagement. We believe this is going to be very useful. France is playing a leading role in settling this case. France has a leading role in the Middle East, and we would like to thank the President for his personal commitment. He made numerous statements with respect to Gilad's release.
We've just got 1 minute left, but I'd like to ask you if you would like to send a message to both Hamas, who's holding your son. What would you like to say to them? And also, what would you like to say to your son? What message would you like to send to your son?
No, I would not like to talk to the Hamas, but the Palestinians in general. This stems from a common will. We need to finalize this very sad case. We need to settle that case on the Israeli side as well as on the Palestinian side. We need to settle the case, and this will improve everybody's lives. This will improve the Gaza population's lives. Now, perhaps 1,000 prisoners will be released, and 1,000 families will be able to see their close ones once again, their children. But we're telling Gilad, be strong, hang in there, survive, and we'd like to tell him that we're doing our utmost and for his release.
Thank you very much. That concludes the interview. Stay with us on France 24 for more news.
The Weather Report is brought to you by Royal Air Maroc.